Hi, it's Betha from Postalgia, and I'm here with...
Gaspard.
Hello, Gaspard.
Hi. Hi, Betha.
So today we will be talking about Festival Sinema Prancis 2025, and I need to ask you, why is this year's theme Nouvelle Vague? What is this? What is their significance?
Sure. So first of all, thank you so much for interviewing me and helping us communicating about our festival. We are very happy that Festival Sinema Prancis is returning for its 27th edition. And as you mentioned, this year's Festival Sinema Prancis focuses on Nouvelle Vague. Nouvelle Vague, or the New Wave, is a movement, it is a French cinema movement from the 1950s, 1960s, which really revolutionized cinema and world cinema, actually, with iconic filmmakers, which are well known among cinephiles, such as Jean-Luc Godard, François Truffaut, and others, Agnès Varda and else. And we are very happy to focus on this classic movement this year because a movie was highlighted this year at Cannes Film Festival, which is called Nouvelle Vague, directed by the American director Richard Linklater, which people may know for his films Boyhood or Before Sunrise. Linklater directed a film, Nouvelle Vague, which is actually some kind of behind the scenes of Jean-Luc Godard's first film, Breathless. So even though the director is American, the movie Nouvelle Vague is fully French, like shot in Paris with French actors. It's a French production. And it was in competition for the Palme d'Or in Cannes this year. So it's a real tribute to the Nouvelle Vague movement and to Jean-Luc Godard. So in a way, Nouvelle Vague, the movement was in the news this year. And so we are very happy to build a program which includes this film by Richard Linklater, Nouvelle Vague, and also some classic films from this period of French cinema history from the 50s and 60s. So, for instance, most notably, we will have a Nouvelle Vague afternoon. We will start with the screening of Richard Linklater's Nouvelle Vague. Then we will have a discussion on stage with the Jakarta Cinema Club, and we will close the day with the film by Godard, Breathless. So it's a way, yeah, for sure it will be very entertaining for the cinephiles from Jakarta and Indonesia, but it's also a way for us to tell the general public about this movement and its impact on cinema history.
That is so amazing and interesting. So I read in the book that there will be two directors that will be invited to for a program in IFI Jakarta.
Sure. So Festival Sinema Prancis, I mean, for more than 25 years now, the idea is really for us to promote French cinema with free screenings in many cities across the countries, and of course to propose interesting discussions, interesting Q&As, and propose the audience to meet with filmmakers from both countries. Actually, it's really important for us to bring French talents to Indonesia. It makes the screenings more special, of course. When you watch a movie and then you have the opportunity to talk with the director, it makes it very special. But also talents from Indonesia. We cooperate more and more with Indonesia in the field of cinema, and we have a lot of friends in the film industry. We really like to invite directors or actors or producers to our events as speakers. So this year we will have a French director coming to introduce his film. Gilles Demestre will introduce his film Moon de Penda, which has been bought for Indonesia by PT Prima, Cinema 21, and will be released in theaters in December following its festival premiere. The film talks about a little boy in China becoming friend with a panda. It was shot with a real one, actually. And the director, he's very concerned about making movies about animals and biodiversity. So he's coming to introduce his film on Saturday, the 22nd of November. The discussion of Nouvelle Vague is on Sunday the 23rd, and with Gilles de Maistre, it's on Saturday the 22nd at IFI Tamrin.
Okay.
On the other side, we have the pleasure to welcome Joko Anwar, the director, iconic director, horror films, internationally recognized as a great director, coming to IFI Tamrin to have a talk with the audience following a French horror film screening. On Monday, the 24th of November, we screen Vermine by Sébastien Vanissek. It's a horror movie about spiders, which was very popular when released in France. Joko Anwar will come to tell us about the differences and the evolution of the horror genre in Indonesia and France.
So it will be a comparison with Joko Anwar.
Kind of, because Joko Anwar's movies focus more on ghosts.
Yes.
So it's interesting to ask him about the differences between the horror films in Indonesia and France.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you get the tickets to any of the movie that will be screened in IFI?
So basically, the rule is so the screenings are all free. And the basic rule is first come, first serve, 1 hour before the screening. So, for instance, the spectators who are interested should have a look at our program on our website. Everything is clearly indicated. And if you are interested in a specific screening, just come 1 hour in advance and you get a ticket. That is the basic rule, but for some special screenings, it's a bit different. When we have a Q&A, we open registration online earlier, so you have to follow our social media to get a ticket. Okay,
so for the screening with Q&A session, it will be registered before.
You should register before. Everything is specified on our social media, especially Instagram. Never SVP link is open in advance.
Okay.
So that's for the French director Gilles de Maistre coming from Mundapenda on Saturday the 22nd at IFI Tamrin. The Nouvelle Vague discussion with Jakarta Cinema Club at 3 p.m. on the Sunday the 23rd at IFI Tamrin, and the discussion with Joko Anwar for the horror film Vermine on Monday the 24th of November, 7 p.m.
So it's a 3-day for the screenings.
Basically, yeah.
So I noticed that there are several titles that are old movies from the Nouvelle Vague. So what are their significance in this festival?
We have, so apart from Richard Linklater's film from this year, we have 3 classics.
Three
classics from the 50s and 60s. We have Breathless and Contempt by Jean-Luc Godard, and 400 Blows by François Truffaut. What are their significance? Actually, these are the 2 most iconic directors from the Nouvelle Vague movement. So as we focus on this movement this year, important to screen these 3 films. They are iconic and the 3 films are very interesting for different reasons. 400 Blows is historically the first film by the Nouvelle Vague, released in 1959. New way of making films, new way of building characters, of building dialogues in the film. And then the 2 Godard films are also very important. Like Breathless is the first film by Jean-Luc Godard, which then had a 60 years long career, and is the movie on which Richard Linklater chose to focus in his film this year, so very important to have it. And Contempt is iconic as well. It stars Brigitte Bardot, who is one of the most iconic French actresses. Not everyone may know her, of course, nowadays, especially in Indonesia. But for us, it's really a huge symbol, a huge French symbol. And the story is quite interesting. It's not only about a couple and a relationship, but also filmmaking in a way. So it's a complex movie, and we are very happy to screen it as well.
That is interesting to hear. And from your recommendation, from this year's selection, which titles are a must-watch?
So I will be a bit original because we've already talked about the Nouvelle Vague, we've already talked about Wonder Panda, about Vermin. There are, I would say, 3 other titles that are highlights. 13 Days, 13 Nights is our opening film this Friday the 21st of November. We screen it in 8 Cinema 21 theaters across the countries. It's a very nice thriller focusing on the evacuation of the French embassy in Kabul when the Taliban came back to power in 2021. So interesting subjects, especially for a French film festival. And really the audience will get thrilled. Second is Live One Day, Partir un jour, a film that we will screen in our screening venues across the country. It was the opening film of this year Cannes Film Festival. It focuses, like, without going much into the details, it focuses on the generation in France who grew up in the 90s, and it has a vibe, a kind of nostalgia vibe. And it stars the French singer Juliette Armanet, which is very nice as both a singer as an actress, and it's a very like feel good movie, feel good movie that I recommend as well. And our closing film that we will screen on December the 2nd in our 8 Institut Francais and Alliance Française is called Colors of Time, L'Avenue de l'Avenir. Directed by Cédric Clapiche, and this one is very nostalgic as well. It's a family nowadays who tries to reconnect with their ancestor from the 19th century, and they get to know more about their ancestor who would leave Normandy so the countryside in France, to live in Paris and discover all the artistic and the artistic and cultural the dynamic evolution in Paris at the time. I mean, 19th century was really important period for Paris, with great architecture, a lot of artists inventing new way of making art. So the movie is about all this, and it's very, very French. Like, I'm sure the audience will love it, because it really shows France as it was in the 19th century.
So that's the 3 movie choices from Gaspard that you need to watch. So that's it from us, Nostalgia, and see you on the Festival Sinema Prancis 2025. Thank you,
Thank
Gaspard.
you so much. See you in the theaters.